Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me are my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Was good.
Wow. Okay. And today, Mark is going to be reacting to the song Under Attack by ABBA, which I believe, and I'm sure I'll be corrected in the comments if I'm wrong, that this was maybe the last song that they released actually as ABBA before they broke up for that 40-year hiatus. Mark, there is an official video of which I have seen actually, but what I'm about to show you here, I haven't seen this whole thing. So for me, it would be a reaction. And I watched the day before you came from this video. This is like a 3-song live video. Live. I don't know if you, back in the early 80s and late 70s, when people would go on, talk shows and stuff like that, they would kind of mime live performances. It was a pretty popular thing, right? Maybe it's just they didn't have the technology back then to do live, shows on television shows like they do now. The point is, though, Mark, I'm not sure. Obviously, this isn't live because there's literally not a microphone on their vocals. So what I mean is, but the mix is different than the album mix. So I'm thinking maybe this is more of a live vocal forward mix that they're giving on this potentially. So Mark, this is the song Under Attack. It's added to the bonus tracks version of The Visitors. I was reading some of the comments and certain people were being a bit negative about this song. And this is a song I really liked when I listened to it a few times. So I'm excited to share it with you, see what you think. Mark, why don't we take a look at the lyrics for this song? What do you say?
Only if they're happy, Troy.
Yeah, and we know Bjorn only writes happy lyrics. So, Mark, These are the lyrics. I'm just going to read the first maybe verse and chorus so you get a feel for what you're about to listen to. All right. Don't know how to take it. Don't know where to go. My resistance running low, and every day the hold is getting tighter, and it troubles me so. You know I'm nobody's fool. I'm nobody's fool, and yet it's clear to me I don't have a strategy. It's just like taking candy from a baby, and I think I must be under attack. I'm being taken, about to crack. Defenses breaking. Won't somebody please have a heart? Come and rescue me now, 'cause I'm falling apart. Under attack, I'm taking cover. He's on my track, my chasing lover. Thinking nothing's gonna stop him now. Should I want to? I'm not sure I would know how. All right. So that's the beginning of the song. So I read this whole song, Mark, and I was like, is this song talking about a stalker? Maybe. Is it talking about pressure is it like a metaphor for pressure from the music industry or what they were feeling at the time? Maybe, is it about another thing I thought maybe, Mark, was maybe it's about falling in love with somebody in a weird way. There's a song, Mark, that I really like on Skeleton, the last Ghost record, and that song is talking about the feeling of being in love with someone so much that it's a bit scary and it feels like a demonic possession, actually. And when I read this song, it reminded me of that a little bit. Like your own emotions could put you under attack. And it could feel like it's stalking you or feel like it's out of control, maybe, right? Mark, I don't know if this is German. I'm not sure. Maybe it is because it seems like you pointed that out. Maybe. But Mark, what do you think so far?
Yeah, I could see what you mean about the synth or like the, the new wave stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun to think about, and I'm sure ABBA fanatics think about this all the time. If they stayed together, what direction they would have went? Because I think this is a great example that they would have made probably a bunch of like synth pop albums. Like, um, it would have been so heavily synthesizer. Like, um, it would have been really cool to see that, honestly, just to see what direction they went. And if they stayed together in the 90s too, with like the advent of grunge and stuff like that, like what direction they would have taken then. Would
Yeah.
they have went back to like straight pop songs? Would they go to like Eurodance? Like, what
Oh my
direction would they have
God.
taken?
Could you imagine
Could
ABBA Eurodance?
ABBA
Yeah.
Eurodance, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the group ATC that does Around the World. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. Two
Hmm.
guys, two girls, singers from different countries. It's literally the same thing.
Okay.
Except they're not from Sweden, but
Sure.
like
Sure.
it would have been crazy if they did like Eurodance. Could you imagine?
I know. Yeah, Mark, I would love personally, unfortunately they didn't stay together for 40 years, but if they made albums that sounded like synth pop and this like early 80s sound, I would have been in love with it. I love early 80s synth-based music, new wave music, synth pop music. Um, this is like right up my alley. So, and I
Yeah.
obviously I love a lot of the other older ABBA music too. But I'm saying this to me, this is great. When I read the comments on the video, I'm not going to call this individuals people out on the Under Attack official video. People were saying, "Oh, this is not real ABBA. This is like," they were being very critical of it. And I'm like, but nobody's allowed to progress. Nobody's allowed to change their style over. I mean, ABBA, we haven't done the Ring Ring episode, right? But I've heard the Waterloo song, which is from their second album, and that sounds nothing like songs on The Visitors, right? I mean, it sounds
Mm.
totally different.
Yeah.
And it actually sounds totally different than songs on Super Trooper, for example. And then they have Voulez-Vous, which is a disco album. And so the point is, they have their sound, even in a short time span, changed multiple times and they've grew. And to me,
Mm.
this is just an example of them growing again, right? And kind of changing and doing something really cool. And I'll say one more thing, Mark, and then we'll get back to it. There are a few bands. Now, this may shock you, Mark, because I only started listening to ABBA back in May when we did our first episode. Thanks to randomly, by the way, shout out to Tobias Forge, I just have in my hand. Thanks to him, we did the first ABBA episode, and that spawned the reason why we're doing this now after all these episodes. And thanks to you and me as well for liking the music. Obviously, if we didn't like it, we probably wouldn't have kept going. There are very few artists where I will always give the benefit of the doubt on a song. And what I mean by that is like, there are a few artists that I listen to that if I don't immediately like a song right away, I go, oh, it's probably me. There are a few artists like that. Like I will always give the extra benefit of the doubt and multiple listens before I go, okay, maybe I don't really like the song, right? Just because I think the songwriting is so strong from those artists. And ABBA has become one of them for me now. So I always give them, like, if I don't immediately grab onto a song, I will give it multiple listens and say, okay, Ben and Bjorn know what they're doing. It's probably me. So that's actually like, and so that has done me well so far. And look at Frida, look at the hairstyles, man. Early 80s, they were,
Yep.
they were killing it. Very fashionable, and Ben and Bjorn look great too. They're all like these black suits, and I love. I would have loved this look for a few years and to see where
Yeah,
they would have went.
they never should have gotten married to each other. They probably would have stayed together.
You know what? Though we wouldn't have got probably all those heartfelt breakup songs, and all those things which people love. So
Yeah, but would it have been worth it for 20 more years?
Probably, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh man, the synth groove is so good. Ready for a little synth solo, Mark?
Always.
Here we go.
Just on top of the piano.
Hell yeah. So, Mark, that was an ABBA song you haven't heard before. What'd you think of that one?
Fun. It is very, it's very ABBA, but it's very not typical ABBA. You know, it's very 80s sounding, synthy.
Yeah.
That little like synth vocal thing that Bjorn does is pretty. It reminds me of like Frampton Comes Alive, you know, something like that.
The vocoder, and I think that was Benny actually that was doing that.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, very. Still ABBA though, still super catchy, great vocals.
Great vocals, probably dark lyrics.
Oh yeah,
you got it all, the whole package there. At this point in my life, at this point in my life, Mark, I feel like it's only been a few months, but I've listened to so much ABBA in this few months and like learned so much from the community that I feel like it's gonna sound weird, but like obviously I know their names, but I feel like I've gotten to know them through watching the documentaries, and so when I see them, it just brings a smile to my face because you feel like. I mean, obviously, I'm not a super fan like a lot of the, our commenters are and the people that have been listening to them since the 70s, right? But in my mini fandom over the last few months, I can even see the appeal beyond just the music, right? As people, and you watch them singing and they seem so happy and you just, you root for them. So I don't know. That's for me. So Mark, I thought this was a cool little track. This is a track that I've listened to on repeat today. And I was like, you know what? I got to let Mark hear this one. So, Mark, well, thanks again for doing this one. If you're still watching this, you know what? You're probably a pretty cool person. And if you're a cool person, a couple things I'm looking for from you, if you don't mind. Number one, we have a free community Discord where the coolest people are in there, and we talk ABBA in there, as well as, a lot of other music as well, besides ABBA, but we have our own channel. So if you want to join ABBA fans and talk about ABBA and any other music you want, you can come in there and talk about it. The second thing is we have an album review coming out of Ring Ring, which is an album Mark and I have never heard before. So we're going to listen to that, and we're going to do a full track-by-track analysis. If you want to hear us talk about that, look for that. As well as if it's your first time here, you may have not seen our other ABBA videos. We actually have a playlist, which is album review and reaction videos for ABBA. You can check out that whole playlist. Start from the beginning, and you'll see the first video where Mark and I are totally clueless about ABBA. We have no idea what we're listening to get to the point where we're doing this video now, where I'm talking about how I've been listening to them nonstop since May. So, all right, Mark. Well, thanks again, sir. And until next time.